And hello, everybody, and welcome to the final after hours of the semester. I'm your host, Jon Francois, and you're listening to 90.1 FM WECS. We are broadcasting from Eastern Connecticut State University in Willimantic, Connecticut. As you can see, it has gotten more festive here than it was last week as far as the decorations. Last week, I remember there were just lights, and now there seem to be lights and a lot of silver thickiness. So for those of you who love silver thickiness in the holidays, then there you go, right behind me. A great substitution if you have no sex life. Silver thickiness. All right. Besides being creepy as usual, I hope everybody here at Eastern is doing okay with their finals so far because this week, for those of us Eastern students, is finals week. Me, this semester, I'm going relatively easy. Like, I'm not having much of a big deal with it. I have 4 classes this semester, originally 5, but I dropped one of them because it was a comm class, and I'm a comm minor, and I just don't need to take that class. It's ridiculous. Comm law and ethics, by the way. Really, do I need to know anything about being legal or laws or cases or whatever? No, I just want to be illegal because I'm 21 and I got a damn right to do so. Anywho, my 4 classes this semester, television production 2, which thankfully we did not have to meet up this week for finals. We already had our final exam like a week before. And I think the final thing we had to do was the interview project. And that just took ridiculously long because the teacher is just naturally a big piece of bunion hot dogs. I can't really say a profane name, so I thought, why not just say bunion hot dogs? By the way, bunions, I know that bunions are feet, but because it has bun in it, doesn't it make you think of hamburgers and hot dogs? So really, the next time when you look at your feet, you might as well say to yourself, hey, wow, bunions, hamburgers and hot dogs. Let me put some hamburger meat and some hot dog meat on my feet, and let's see what happens. Maybe my feet will turn into buns. Who knows? But yes, television production 2, thankfully did not have to meet up for this week, so that's out of the way. Urban anthropology. I just had my final earlier on today. From 5 to 7, of course, because of my overthinking and overanalyzing and my lack of really thorough studying, I ended up being the last one to finish the exam. Everybody started to leave like around 6 o'clock, and like literally, I think 6:20, 6:30ish, I was still just kind of writing away at my exam, just trying to, really think of the right answer, even though it was a relatively easy exam, if you study, that is. 25 multiple choice questions and 25 true and false questions. Now, the teacher was a little bit nice to us and let us use a cheat sheet, which was like, front and back. Like you could use front and back, front side, back side, you get the point. But since I don't feel like writing anything and have not handwritten anything since like 1926, I decided to just type up my cheat sheet and just use 2 pages, because 2 pages, both using just the front side, is basically the equivalent of using 1 page front and back. So why not? And of course, I used like 5 font to fit in as much stuff as possible. But even with all the stuff that I fit in, I still got confused and boggled by a couple of questions, which is why I took so damn long. But eventually I finished that exam. Apparently the teacher lives in like the 1950s when cell phones weren't invented, because I remember him saying in the beginning of the semester that he does not have a cell phone. And I'm like, okay, I understand if you have no iPad, no iPhone, none of that hipster technology stuff, but a cell phone, the basic necessity for getting in touch with people outside of your home, you don't have that. Something may be wrong with you. You may have no contact with people whatsoever. You may be living in a rock somewhere, crying your eyes out. So good for you if you do that. It would be interesting if you had a pager, though. Does anybody still have a pager? I wonder if anybody still has a pager. If you do, call in 860-456-2164. That's 860-456-2164. I'm waiting to hear from you. Or, if you don't even have a phone, page me, even though I don't have a pager, so sucks for you. Yes. So that exam I got over with. That exam is worth 30% of our final grade since we were supposed to have another exam, but we couldn't take it because a class was canceled on one day. It was like a snowstorm. It just got really ridiculous outside. So all the teachers and all the faculty said to heck with it. No way anybody's driving or walking in that storm. So he decided to combine one exam with the original final exam, and boom, 30% of our grade instead of the original 15% of our grade. So, I mean, before that exam, I saw that I had a C in that class. So now I could get a D or maybe a big fat F if I do really bad in this exam. But really, I don't care. At this point, it's like, all right, if I don't pass this class, I'll just retake it in the near future or just take another class within the LAC requirements. I think urban anthropology fits in the individuals and perspectives requirement, so I'll figure that out somehow. Jazz, I have a term paper, 8 pages, due this Friday. I'm like 5 or 6 pages in so far, so that's pretty good. I can finish that by Friday indeed. And directing, intro to directing, that is, I have a final scene in which I'm performing and also kind of co-directing with my group partners. So that should turn out really well. The teacher's being kind of ridiculous and not having this final until Monday of next week. If he had it this week, then I'd be done by the end of this week. But guess what? Teachers don't believe in goodwill and kindness. So there you go. All right, so that's basically my story for the finals. Anybody have any finals stories or any final exam antidotes or rants that they'd like to go on? 860-456-2164. Or if you're my Facebook friend, facebook.com/JFRA91. We do have a great show for you guys tonight. I have some B-Day shout-outs to get into, and since this is our final show of the semester, leading up into the holiday season, I figured I would mix up some regular sane songs with a lot of Christmas babble-dabble, so stay tuned for that. I'm pondering whether I should start with a Christmas song or start with a regular song, so really, we'll see. I have the Which Reindeer Do I Feel Like Now game, which I played last week. What's interesting about this game is that it's based on, all the names of Santa's reindeer, and basically it's just a guess which reindeer I'm talking about type of game. And I thought I had the wrong reindeer, but it turns out I have the right reindeer. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, let's see. Anything else? I'll get to some news stories. I'll have Sabrina Scott, who is a good person. I can't say a good friend. I mean, we're Facebook friends, sure, but we barely talk. She did see Judas, though, the play that I was just in, Last Days of Judas Iscariot, so thank God for her for that. So I think that's how we just, kind of Facebook friended and said, hey, you should come by for the last show. So she'll come by and we'll chat it up. Things will be peachy great. Anything else? Not really. So let's get started with a tune from A Ways Away. I don't know if this is the name of the artist. I think this is the name of the album. It's an indie album, so it's probably something you don't know or care about. No offense to the indie people. That's just fact. There's a lot of spots on this. If you look very closely, the spots look like abstract pimples. I don't know if you like that. I don't know if you want to eat abstract pimples for the holidays. If you do, great. That could be a great substitution for your eggnog cakes. That's right, I said it. Eggnog cakes. And apparently there's like some Loch Ness monster on the cover as well. I don't know. I mean, the light is so bright in the studio, you may not be able to see it, but call me if you want to see it up close, and I'll show you it while I'm naked in the shower. The first song you'll hear is Some Things Well Never Know. There's no apostrophe, so it looks like Some Things Well Never Know, but it's probably Some Things We'll Never Know. So let's just go on that. Some Things We'll Never Know. That's the name of the tune. So let's play that, and we'll get into some B-Day shoutouts, and some games, and some newsy doozies. It's After Hours, everybody. Stay tuned.